Okay, so let's look at our one up here. So 45, how can you break down 45? Okay, 9 times 5. What's another way that you could break down 45?
15 and 3.
15 times 3. Okay, so what I want you to see here, just quick here, that there's two different ways to start this. But, all right, so on the 15 and 3, what can I break down there?
5.
The 15 is what?
5 and 3.
3 times 5 with that. Okay, if I go this other route, 9 and 5, which one can I break down? 9 breaks down how? 3 times 3 times 5. So notice on these, okay? If I go this way, I get 2 3s and a 5. If I go this way, I get 2 3s and a 5. So it does not matter how you start here, you're going to end up at the same place here. I mean, assuming you do everything right. It's going to factor down to the primes the same on them. Okay, so 45 is 3, 3, and 5. So I look for my pairs. 3 times 3 is what? Is 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. So we get 3 square roots of 5. Okay. 48. How does 48 break down? Okay. So again, there's definitely more than one way to break that down, but 6 times 8 is one way to get 48. Okay, how does 6 break down? 2 times 3, and the 8 breaks down as 2 times 4. So I have 2, 3, 2, 4. Can I break down any of those?
4.
The 4. Okay, I'm going to bring this 2 down, I'm going to bring this 3 down, I'm going to bring this 2 down, and the 4 breaks down as 2 and 2. Now can I break any of those down? Nope. So go back over to here. How many 2s are there? 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then what do I have left? 1, 3. Circle my pairs. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, and the square root of 4, 2. 2 times 2 is 4, square root of 4 is 2. Remember, everything that I bring out gets multiplied together. So I brought out 1 2, I brought out another 2. So when I multiply those 2 2s, on the outside I'm going to get a 4. And on the inside, I still have the 3. 4 square roots of 3. And remember, one way to check to see if you got the right answer is go back in your calculator, type in square root of 48, and then type in 4 square roots of 3, and see if those give you the exact same decimal. That doesn't guarantee you got the right answer, but if you get the same thing, it tells you pretty much have it. It's possible that you didn't simplify as far as possible here, but at least it lets you know if you basically got it right. Okay, so 125, how does that break down? 25 and 5. Can I break down either one of those?
25.
The 25 is 5 and 5, still with that 5. Got to make sure I keep track of everything. So that's why I bring stuff down. Once it's already simplified, I go ahead and just keep bringing it down. All right, so we have 5, 5, and 5. So 5 times 5 is what? And the square root of 25 is 5. So we have 5 square roots of 5. Okay? How can I break down 600?
15 and 40.
Okay.
3 times 5.
15 and 40 is one way. Okay, on this, obviously there's going to be a bunch of ways. 6 times 100, 20 times 30.
10 times 60.
Yep, 10 times 60. So there's a bunch of different ways. So let's go with this one. So 15 breaks down as 3 times 5. 40 breaks down as,
4 times 10.
okay, 4 times 10. So 3 and 5, and then 2, 2, and then 2, 5.
Yeah. 5 pair and 2 pair.
Okay, so how many 2s are there?
3.
There's 3. 1, 2, 3. So that, that. What next? Got that single 3. Then what? and then 2 5s. Okay, so let's get all that. So we've got pair of 2s, pair of 5s. So it's going to be a 2 on the outside. It's going to be a 5 on the outside. So on the outside, I brought out a 5 and a 2. So what's it going to be on the outside? 10. You multiply them. 5 times 2 is 10 on the outside. And then on the inside, anything that didn't pair up, it just gets multiplied back together. So what are we going to have on the inside? 6. So 10 square roots of 6. Okay, next one. 2 square roots of 18. How does 18 break down? 2 and 9, which we get 2, 3, and 3. So we have a 2 on the outside. Just leave that alone for now. And on the inside, 18 breaks down as 2, 3, and 3. So I've got one pair of 3s. So that's going to be a 3 to the outside. And on the outside, I brought out a 3. There was already a 2 there. So I do the 3 times the 2 that was already there. We get 6 on the outside. And then 2 is left on the inside by itself. 6 square roots of 2. Okay, how does 28 break down? Okay, 4 times 7. So that's 2, 2, 7. So we have the 8 out here. Then we have 2, 2, 7. So we're going to have a 2 that comes out. So what's this going to be? 16 square roots of 7. Okay. 75 breaks down as 25 times 3, which is 5, 5, and 3. So we have 5 square roots of 5 times 5 times 3. So we have a pair of 5, so that's going to be a 5 out here. So what is that going to give me? 25 square roots of 3. All right, how does 72 break down? 6 and 12. So we get 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 3, and 2, 2. So we have a 9 on the outside. And on the inside, we're going to have 3 2s and 2 3s. That's kind of confusing. 3 2s and 2 3s. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Yeah. So we're going to have a 2 out. We're going to have a 3 out. And so you're going to get 54 square roots of 2. On number 1 over here. Yep. So square root of 45 is 3 square roots. Okay. So on the back of there, I'm going to talk more about multiplying these radicals today. All right. So number 1, square root of 18 times square root of 18. What's that going to be? Yep, it's going to be 18, right? Because remember this, square root of 18 times square root of 18 means square root of 18 squared, right? This right here is another way that I can write this. And remember, what's up with the square and the square root here? Yeah, they're inverses of each other. And again, I don't like that phrase to cancel out, but yeah, that's basically what's happening. They basically undo each other, and so this just leaves 18. So square root of 40 times square root of 40 is what? 40. Is 40. And square root of 500 times square root of 500 is what? 500. Is 500. Okay, I'm going to skip number 4. We did plenty of that type of stuff on the warm-up. Okay, let's look at number 5. So number 5, the only difference is it's a -5. It works the exact same way. Anything we bring out from underneath there is just going to get multiplied by -5. So how does 40 break down? 2 and 20, 4 and 10. So 2, 2, 2, 5. So I've got a -5 on the outside, and on the inside I have 2, 2, 2, 5. So I've got one pair of 2s. So that's going to be a 2 out here. And then on the inside, okay, to pair up, it's got to have something exactly like it. So the 2 doesn't have a pair to pair up with. The 5 doesn't have a pair to pair up with. So those are staying underneath. So on the outside, what are we going to have? -10, because 2 times -5 gives us this -10. And then on the inside, this 2 times 5 is going to give us a +10. So we get -10 square roots of 10. So it's the exact same thing, just with the negative there. All right, so I'm going to skip number 6. Let's look at number 7. So on number 7, square root of 5 times square root of 9. What does that give me?
6.782.
Okay, well, so just what's 5 times 9? Okay, so that's going to give us square root of 45. Okay, and then remember we just simplify that from like we, and didn't we already 5, so I'm not going to redo that. Okay, number 8, 7 times 8. This is going to give us square root of 56. So how does 56 break down?
7 and 8.
Obviously 7 times 8. So we get 7, 2, 4. We're going to get 7, 2, 2, 2. All right, so we have 2, 2, 2, 7. One pair of 2s. It's going to bring a 2 out here, so we have 2 square roots of 14. Okay, I'm going to skip number 9. All right, let's look at number 10. Okay, so we talked briefly about this yesterday, but in this situation, remember, you multiply the outside numbers together, you multiply inside numbers together, and you don't mix those two, okay? Until you bring something from the inside to the outside, then they go together. But for right now, you keep them separate. So it's going to be 5 times the -2, and it's going to be 3 times the 6. So on the outside, what are we going to have? -10. And on the inside, what are we going to have? 18. All right, so, and we've already broken down 18 several times. It's just 2, 3, 3. So I've got that pair of 3s. That's going to be a 3 out here. So what's that going to give us? -30 square roots of 2. Okay, number 11. Okay, again, remember, I'm going to multiply these outside numbers together first. So what's -4 times -6? Is a +24. And now the inside numbers, what's 12 times 3?
36.
Is 36. Now, on this one, I could do all the work to break down 36, but actually 36 is what we talked about yesterday, a perfect square. Right? What's the square root of 36? It's just 6. So if you recognize that, you don't have to do the other work, okay? The square root of 36 is just 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. So if you recognize that it's a perfect square, you can just do it like this, and then 24 times 6 is what?
144.
Is 144. Okay, number 12. Okay, 7 times 3, 21. 7 times 14
98.
is 98. All right, so 98. How can you break down 98?
7, 14.
Yep. That's the way we got it in the first place, right? So 7, 2, and 7. All right, so we have 21, 2, 7, 7. Okay, so we have 7 times 21. 147 square root of 2. All right, on this next part. So we got parentheses here. So what do you think is going to happen on this?
It's gonna become 3, then the thing 2. 3.
Yes, we're going to be distributing. Okay? So I'm going to take this square root of 10, and it's going to get distributed to the square root of 2. And I'm going to take this square root of 10, and it's going to get distributed to this 3. Now remember, you multiply inside numbers together, you multiply outside numbers together, you don't mix those up. So what's the square root of 10 times the square root of 2?
20. Square root of 20.
Is the square root of 20. Now what's the square root of 10 times 3?
3.
3 square root of 10. I cannot multiply those two together. It's not like it's going to be the square root of 30. Because 3 is not underneath the radical. It's not underneath that square root symbol. 10 is, so I don't multiply those two together. Now from here, we basically have two terms. We have two pieces, the square root of 20 and then the 3 square root of 10. And I want to simplify those individually now. All right, so on the 20, how can I break down the 20? 4 and 5, which is 2, 2, and 5. And then over here, how does a 10 break down?
5 and 2.
2 and 5, so I have plus 3 times the square root of 2 times 5. All right. All right, so what pairs do we have on that first part there?
2.
We have these 2's. So that's going to be a 2 to the outside. So we're going to have 2 square roots of 5. Okay, on the second part of that, 2 times 5, is there any pairs there? No. So remember, what does that tell me? Yeah, it means it's already simplified. There's nothing else I can do to it. So basically, I'm just putting it back the way it was. 3 square roots of 10. And that's it. Can I add 2 square roots of 5 to 3 square roots of 10? No. Okay? They're not like terms, basically. That would be like me saying 2x plus 3y, kind of. Okay? 2x plus 3y, you cannot add those two together because they're not like terms. And 2 square roots of 5 plus 3 square roots of 10, since these have different square roots, they're not like terms, I can't put them together. But if for some reason this was 3 square roots of 5, then I could add them together. Then that would be 5 square roots of 5. But since these square roots are different numbers, they cannot be added together like that. I mean, we could do some work to make that happen, but that's the way I want it right there. Okay, number 14. What's square root of 10 times square root of 10? Is square root of 100. And then what's square root of 10 times negative square root of 2? Negative square root of 20. Okay, so what's square root of 100? is 10. I mean, we could do all the work on that, but it's just a perfect square. It's just 10. Now, 20 breaks down as 4, 5, which is 2, 2, 5. Like that. Okay, so we got one pair there. So there's a 2 coming out front. So we have 10 minus 2 square roots of 5. Nope, those are not like terms. You cannot, I mean, we could get a decimal or do some other stuff, but we're just going to leave it like that. Okay, then the last one. All right, 2 square root of 2 times 2 is what?
4 square root of 2.
Is 4 square root of 2. And then 2 square root of 2 times square root of 2 is what?
2 square root of 4.
2 square roots of 4. Okay, can I simplify the square root of 2?
No.
Nope, so there's nothing I can do there. Plus 2. Okay, what's the square root of 4?
2.
Is just 2. So I'm going to get 4 square roots of 2 plus 2 times 2, which is 4. And that's it right there.